What is going on, guys? Rodney here with cryptobros. Welcome to tonight's video. What we're going to be talking about are some of the top alt picks going into April, and the basis of this video is strictly based upon the fact that it is tax season, and most of us, myself included, are going to be getting a tax return here in the next couple weeks if we haven't gotten it already. So what I'm going to do with my tax returns, I'm going to take a portion of it. I'm thinking maybe like $1,000 or so and invest it into some of my favorite crypto projects. The issue that I kind of have is that there are a lot of projects that I'm very bullish on and that I like, and I'm trying to whittle it down to the top 3 to 5 coins to invest this $1,000 on. In this video up here, you can see there are 16 coins. I'm going to kind of breeze through and just briefly touch on more about price points. But again, what I want to hear from you guys is some of the projects you're bullish on. I probably won't be making this purchase for a few days. I want to do some research and kind of figure out where exactly and how exactly I want to slice and dice up this cash to invest it in here. But we'll go through that in a second. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, we are producing, I'm producing new crypto content almost daily. I cover everything from coin reviews to market news, just honest thoughts on coins, price points. I do some tutorial stuff on how to do different things. I spend time and answer everybody's questions. So if you haven't subscribed, by all means, guys, please do that. We are on the quest to hit 3,000. We're currently at 2,786 subscribers. So we're working our way, and I just want you guys to know I appreciate you very, very much. So all that being said, let's just get into this list. Number 1 on here, and what I did is I actually went through CoinMarketCap, and these are in order from their rank on CoinMarketCap, and we have 16 to quickly go through. Number 1 on the list, I think everybody knows, is Cardano. If we look at just from like a chart standpoint, this is sitting on wickedly low supports. I did a video the other day about coins sitting on super low supports, and this may have had, I think, the largest drop from all-time high to new low. So in terms of just ROI standpoint, if you have patience and you're buying this now, there should be some very, very nice ROI on this in the long term. So that is number 1. No one is a stranger to Neo here. I obviously love this price point, under $50. A lot of people are projecting one more leg down, so I'm kind of waiting and being patient in terms of the coins that I'm going after. But Neo is definitely actually, of these 16, I don't actually own any Neo. I'm bullish on this project. Obviously, people are calling it, the next Ethereum. I think most would agree. It has 100% potential to be the next, 4-figure coin, and I'm usually fairly hesitant to put out full price predictions like that, but I think that's completely possible with Neo. So that's number 2 on the list. VeChain is my number 3, currently sitting at $2.43. If we look at where our all-time high was, we are roughly $8.50, now sitting just over 2 bones. Just to get back up to that all-time high, a 4x, that isn't too shabby in terms of a ROI standpoint, but I think this is a much longer term investment. If you can hold through some thick and thin, I think you can do very well in this in the long term. Number 4 is actually OMG, and in terms of OMG, this is my biggest. Sorry, that's my pop. This is like the biggest bag that I own in terms of like USD. It's not the most coin for coin that I own, but the most dollar amount that I have invested in any given coin is in OMG. And this is also sitting on very, very low supports in terms of all-time high. And we continue to, any price I think for OMG under $10 is really solid. This is I've never done a review on this, but I've done a fair share of research. But this is like a full-blown like company with people and boots on the ground and real work done. They just donated like $1 million to a charity. All-time high over $25. Current price $8.24. And really, with some of the things they have going on, I've seen price projections earlier in the year for late 2018 of OMG. By the time they get their wallet released and plasma and all that stuff, upwards of 100 bones. So good potential ROI here if and when the bulls return. So that is number 4. Number 5 is Icon. I think people are very familiar with Icon and what they're trying to do. I think the overlying theme of most of these long-term investments are like protocols and platforms. And in the in the eyes of Icon, they are really uniting like a nation. They are putting a whole blockchain, of things that communicate with each other, doctor stuff, hospital stuff, insurance, and they're doing that all across one whole blockchain for an entire country. So we'll leave it at that. Again, all-time highs, almost 12 bucks, 12.47. Current price 208, an easy 6x here. And a lot of good things, coming down the pipeline for Icon. They had their mainnet launch a few months ago. I don't remember the exact date on it. I did a quick video on that, but a lot of positive. For a lot of these coins that got really popular towards the end of 2017 are really starting to kind of come into fruition, starting to make some moves in terms of their actual project. The problem is we're in a bear market, so we're not necessarily reaping the gains. If we think back to 2018, or I'm sorry, 2017, the slightest news story that would come out on a coin in a bull market would project these things like multiple percent, 20, 50, 60, 80, 100%. These same days we see a lot of good, news things comes out on these different coins, and we don't quite have the same effect. Number 5 here is Ontology. I will tell you, I've just started doing some research on Ontology and their trust system. I think it's very cool what they're trying to do. I think it's a very ambitious program or project, that is. And really, I'm not super sold on the current price point. Here's the thing. We didn't necessarily get this crazy run up. I would like to get in on this, but I'm undecided on the price at $2.33. This could either be a great buy and we can continue to see this thing trend up, and my gut tells me that's going to happen, but I know that the moment that I put a sizable investment in here, we are going to maybe see it pull back even deeper than it already has. This is a project that I like. I'm just not in on it yet, but one certainly on my radar. Moving on, the next one is Wanchain. This is a very high throughput blockchain. They have a fairly complicated sharding system, but their objectives are to do an insane amount of transactions per second and just a very, very high throughput of transactions, so we can get these next level dApps and applications built on the Wanchain charts. One thing that I actually really like to see about Wanchain, and I pointed this out the other day, is if we're looking at crypto miso, speculating in terms of the GitHub updates and stuff like this, our boy Wanchain is right here at number 7. A lot of work being done. They're putting out videos fairly frequently, so I'm a big fan of Wanchain. I like where this technology is going. It's not listed on very many exchanges at this point, so I don't think it's getting as much coverage and hype as it could based on what they're trying to accomplish. So anyway, that is Wanchain. I'm not sure what number I'm on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halfway through. Number 8 is Silica. I've talked about Silica many times. Some people currently think the price point in Satoshi is a little higher than what they'd like to pay. But again, a very high throughput blockchain project dealing with sharding and how they break it down. I've also done a video on Silica. This is a long-term hold for me. I haven't done much in terms of buying. I've said that a few times. I've only traded Storm, and I've only bought one dash. This was a week ago. But this is something I'm definitely looking to kind of cost average my way in. I've been buying it since 7 cents down to 3 cents and somewhere in the middle over the last 4 or 5 months. I'm not exactly sure where this stands in terms of priority for me, but because I already have a good amount. But this is one that I really like. Now, outside of Neo, I'm leaning really heavily towards Dragon Chain. I can literally remember buying Dragon Chain at $4, high $3 and $2 on this way down. And again, if we look at this chart, All-time high, it's at 497, 520 there. Current price points, we're under a buck here, guys, and we actually seen, I think it was as low as 50 something cents the other day. Yesterday had a 30% gain. Today we're sitting at 78 cents, and considering where I was buying this on, towards the very beginning of 2018 and where we're at now, I'm still very bullish on this project and what they have going on. I think there's a lot of potential long term here with this. I mean, we can actually see total circulating supply, and circulating supply isn't anything ridiculous, so there is some room to run on this coin long term, but again, patience is going to be key. But at this current price point between this and Neo, those are where I'm thinking my top two are. Moving on to, maybe this is 10, not exactly sure, I don't keep count very well, is Nebulous. They just had their very first their testnet launch. They had a big ordeal. Blockchain Brad had a video out on this. This is a project I really like. To kind of sum it up, it is going to be they're calling it the Google of the blockchain. They have a blockchain with some search features. They're going to be building dApps on this, and just like many of the other projects that I talked about, Wanchain, Silica, Dragon, Icon, like they're going to be looking to build on top of a lot of these different blockchains. So, and for me, and I think for most people in this crypto space, those are the types of projects people are looking for the biggest short-term and long-term gains. But anyway, Nebulous, I started buying this right around 10 bucks. Is when I think I made my first two buys, were right around $8 and $10. We're now down to $4 and basically 50 cents with an all-time high of 15 bucks. So again, long-term, I think this is a great one. This may be in my top picks, and without getting too deep into the project, in terms of total supply and circulating supply, being at 100 million, that actually is not too high and makes it a very advantageous coin in terms of ROI based on that alone. And I mean, look at this market cap. So I mean, we're talking 158 million. Easily could be a $1 billion coin, if not more. Currently sitting at 67 in coin market cap. So anyway, moving on. Substratum. They've done a lot of cool things with a beta launch. They haven't been quite as hyped. Towards the end of 2017, I keep wanting to say 18. They were catching a lot of just a lot of good press about what they're trying to do, basically decentralize the internet. They're making progress, obviously, like everybody else, taking some serious hits. And if we look at where it came from, a high of $2, $3.13, basically $3 to 33 cents. Multiple X's here that you can grab on an ROI. This little pump right here is kind of when they launched their main net and had a bunch of announcements and whatnot. But overall, I think this is a super solid project. They're very, very prominent on social media, on Twitter, on keeping the community updated. I think this is another good one to at least consider. Next on the list is Syndicator. Super low price point currently. I think this spiked all the way up to 30 cents at one point. Now down to 6.25 cents. All-time high, 29. Okay, it hit 30. So from 6 cents all the way back up to 30, that's a 5x scenario. If you guys don't know much about Syndicator, I've created a short video on this. I probably won't post it towards the end of this, but I've made it. You can find it on my page if you're interested. But what they're doing is they're taking basically like a computing technology plus what people's opinions are and kind of molding it into one to kind of give this projection of price points. And this isn't just cryptocurrency. This has to do with like Forex trading and stocks and stuff. So they're using like AI and people's knowledge and combining it together to basically give you some type of projection on whatever it is, whether it's the prediction of a market, or if it's a prediction of a price point on a coin or something like that. So very cool project. They've got this interesting thing going on where the total supply and the circulating supply doesn't matter, because to have any pull within the Syndicator network, you need to have a minimum of a million coins. So if we think about people kind of owning that, only maybe two, I can't really do that math, but 2,000 people can potentially have control of how their network works. So that's a very interesting thing, and really at $90 million market cap, I think there's a ton of room to run with this. Again, a lot of these projects are based on or a lot of these price points, and when we're looking at market cap, like if we hit these bull runs again and we go from our $250 billion evaluation up to $1 trillion plus, like a lot of these are going to move with it, which is going to push these price points much higher. But we just have to wade through this downtime. Another one on my list that I'm not super familiar with is high performance blockchain. I don't own any of this coin. I remember looking at this when it was around $6 and some change. All-time high, wow, 12 bucks. So I mean, that's an easy 6x right there, back to the all-time high. I don't know much about this. It's been shilled. I don't want to say shilled. It's been talked about and has been praised as a great project. But this is for one that I've kind of been, I don't want to say low-key researching because I haven't done a ton of research into this. But this one that has caught my eye in terms of a high throughput blockchain. Obviously, if we look at our total supply and circulating supply, this isn't very ridiculous, and literally at a $51 million market cap, sitting at rank 148 in coin market cap. Even if this goes up to $500,000, like that's still a huge boost. Let's see what the market cap was over here. So we can figure that out. So the market cap at the all-time high was a 200 million. So that's basically a 4x from where it was now. USD price was $9. So this is another one I'm not super familiar with. This next one kind of falls in that same category. Oyster Pearl. I remember watching this thing pump right out of the gates. Like I followed all the way through this incredible movement that it had right from the gates. I never bought in. They're doing stuff with like advertising and online platforms in terms of putting ads out there. I believe they do stuff with how you can control them and where you can put them and place them and how they're paid for, so you're not just wasting money on that. So pretty cool project in that regard. Again, I'm not the most knowledgeable in this project, but it is something that I've kind of had my eye on for a while. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, guys. 2 more to go. Fusion. This was an ICO I was actually looking to invest in. I never got a chance, obviously, because they didn't allow it to they didn't allow it to U.S. investors, so I didn't get in. Kind of been slowly, low-key following this on the charts. One that I'm not overly sure about at the current price point. What I do like in terms of just looking at these graphs and whatnot is that we've never seen this crazy run up and this full market cycle happen on these. And on some of these coins that have basically hit in the last 2 to 3 months, we haven't seen that on very many of them. Silica, Fusion, which actually brings me over to my next one. Obviously, Wanchain finally just hit as well. Most people, myself included, kind of consider these two, Wanchain and Fusion, competitors. Obviously came out of the gates valued pretty high. We've come back down. What's our current price point here? $3.05. I'm not sure if this is one to pick up now. If you wait, what we all I think can agree on is how hyped this coin was. I don't think I've seen a coin this hyped in my cryptocurrency career. And I know a lot of people put a lot of eggs in this basket for a long-term for a long-term hold, and I'm on that same page. I'm just not fully sure if this is where I want to, if this is the price point that I want to buy, especially when I look at stuff that's like way down from their all-time highs. So obviously patience will be key here. But yeah, that's what I got for like the 16 alts that I'm kind of looking for with this crypto, tax return investment. Again, guys, if you want to leave your comments below on the coins that you're looking at that you think are worthwhile, some of your favorite projects, I highly encourage you to do that. I would love to kind of just hear your thought processes and why. And yeah, so that's all I got for you guys tonight. If you're finding any value in these videos, by all means, guys, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you here. I try to produce open, honest, new, creative content over the course of the week without being watered down or shitty. So yeah, man, hit that subscribe button, hit the like if you like what I'm doing here, and and last but not least, seriously, I appreciate you guys. For the most part, everyone has been really, really awesome. Some great contributors. So yeah, guys, have a great night, and I will catch you later.